our producer Sam Hines, who's a phenomenal, amazingly talented UK producer, really helped us capture exactly what we wanted to capture without sacrificing any of this amazing eclecticism and who we are, but just really narrow it in and basically give it space to grow and create a journey and find its final destination. And I think that's what we feel, that people who have listened to us from our very, very early days, we're in this like 4 years or something now. So if you've stuck with us through this journey, is hopefully you'll see that in these songs is just the growth, the maturity, and just that ability that we've been able to do is to capture the true essence.
Well, yeah, welcome to the Raj Podcast. This is Raj, and yes, we have a very special guest. You'll know who we're talking about. The name Abbie Bell. She has appeared on the podcast, which used to be formerly, obviously, as everybody knows, the Woman Agenda podcast. Now is the Raj Podcast. So we did chat to Abbie, which seemed like yesterday.
I
Um,
know, yeah,
it did seem like it was yesterday, wasn't it? But it was a long time ago now. But what, a couple of
yeah.
years at least.
At least a couple of years. If I remember right, I came on just around the time what would have been our second single.
Yeah.
So maybe what would that have been? 2023. And yeah, like to think of where we are now and the other singles that have since been released, and now we're doing our first EP. It's crazy. And time does go fast. Absolutely.
It does go fast, yeah, absolutely, it does
Yeah.
go fast. And like you said, it's so just to quickly mention before we dive into this, that obviously for everyone who does they get time to watch the video podcast, this episode will be uploaded very soon as well on the audio version, so you would be able to listen everywhere on all the good Spotify, Apple, everywhere, and all the good places. You'll be able to listen to this and download it on there, so you can it'll be very easy to listen to as well. So do check it out if you prefer listen to it. It'll be available. So yeah, absolutely. So I was saying just before you came on, that yeah, you've been really busy. Your band,
Mhm.
yes, band, which is hailed obviously the Scottish band,
Mhm.
and obviously, so I don't know. You guys obviously are releasing an EP, your first EP. I'm sure you guys are really excited about this release, this EP release,
Very.
your debut one. And
Mhm.
and where does this name come from? The slow burn. Where does this title come from? Whose idea was it? Or
Um, so really it's quite a funny story because we weren't really in a mindset of like thinking of the EP name yet. Like so it wasn't really we
Hmm.
were um thinking of like what title and stuff as we're going the process. It actually hit me much more randomly. Because I was the one that tried to think of like, right, how will it look and stuff. And it was actually when I wrote the second single of the EP, Lost in a Small Town, which was based on me growing up in a small town in Midlothian. And it's, a collection of couplets and villages of old mining towns. So obviously there's a rich kind of heritage there. All my family from here, I grew up here. And as I was digging into like, my personal experience and past memories of writing the song Lost in a Small Town, and it just got me thinking about, my journey as an individual from that point as a young teen, first starting to songwrite and perform music, to where I am now, as a 30-year-old woman about to release first debut EP, with two of the most amazing guys that I've been fortunate enough to meet along this journey. And this whole concept of, it's there's no time like the present. This kind of like 10-year transition has felt very much like a slow burn, and it ties back into growing up in a mining town. And what did the mining towns mine? It was coal, so it was coal mining. So what does coal do? It slow burns, and it felt really right in the sense of like that's the best representation of the EP. As me as a songwriter, as us as a band, we're not in our early teens, late teens or early 20s doing this. We have a whole life experience in our 30s bringing into this EP. And the minute I kind of said it out loud, and it was actually my fiance who was like, help kind of like bringing, pushing back and forth ideas, it just felt so right. And that's what felt was the best representation of the EP as a title, because it represents, there's been no time wasted in getting to this point, but we've always been fueled by a fire and this passion to make the best music possible. And that doesn't matter how long it takes. We didn't want to do an EP or an album until we felt we had the absolute the best version of us, and we feel like we're at this point. So a bit of a long explanation, but yeah, it kind of
No,
all
no,
comes
it's
from that.
no, no, absolutely, no, 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 absolutely. I mean, like I always say, this isn't my podcast. This is a podcast for the women, and
Thank you,
for
thank you.
for them to, tell their
Yeah,
story their own way.
yeah,
There's
absolutely.
obviously there's no like you have to say it in small sentences or whatever. You can
Yeah,
say it as long as you want to say it. So
yeah.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that is so true. And like you said, so the music itself, as
Hmm.
mentioned, is a bit of rock, Americano, folk.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
it's a lot of genres. Are these kind of the genres which you were listening to before you got into music?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think that's one thing that's been our strength, and at times has felt like a weakness, but
Hmm.
is our eclecticism as a band. We often like we bond over all these obscure music interests that, you know, nobody else might not know, or nobody else had the same experience growing up with. But yeah, rock was a big one for me. Like I grew up in the era where, it was Pink Floyd, Fleetwood Mac, AC/DC, Tina Turner, like all these amazing, amazing musicians, Pearl Jam, all these things. And I also grew up in an era where it was like folk music and singer-songwriter, that style in the early 2000s were starting to like come forward. I didn't get into country specifically until a lot later in life. So naturally that does influence your sound. And I think the beauty that we've managed to capture with this EP is in the times being so eclectic and having all these different inspirations and influences, it can be quite hard to narrow in and focus in. But that is where when we met our producer, Sam Hines, who's a phenomenal, amazingly talented UK producer, really helped us capture exactly what we wanted to capture without sacrificing any of this amazing eclecticism and who we are, but just really narrow it in and basically give it space to grow and create a journey and find its final destination. And I think that's what we feel that people who have listened to us from our very, very early days, we're in this like 4 years or something now. So if you've stuck with us through this journey, is hopefully you'll see that in these songs as just the growth, the maturity, and just that ability that we've been able to do is to capture the true essence of country, but do it in our own way.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, I mean that's a quite interesting blend, guys, isn't it? Really, I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah,
rock, country music. I mean,
yeah.
because you see, obviously, and obviously, we obviously chat to a lot of country music artists who do country
Hmm.
music, rock ones who do rock music.
Yeah,
But this is a bit different because this is a bit
yeah,
unique, isn't it? So it
yeah.
gets you into that territory where you've created your own kind of a niche,
Hmm.
where country
Yeah.
music, rock together, and a bit of a Americano. So
Yeah.
which is good, where there's so much competition. You
Yeah.
have your own niche of music. You stand out, don't you? Really?
Exactly. And it does feel like that, but also I think it's, we're I think when you truly listen, especially modern day country rock and stuff, there's no such thing as one genre anymore. Everything is starting to blend. And I feel like there's ways to do it in which you're maybe making choices that I want to emulate exactly this genre. So I'm gonna do the formula, if that makes sense. Which is great. And that's, what people love to listen to, an audience listens to that. Whereas I think what we've done has been like, let's do some things that like are like within that genre's formula, but let's also just do the music that we want to do. And that's where you start to see this blend of different kind of elements starting to come in. So I think it does put us in this um more unique position, but at the same time is not, because when we listen to the songs, we know it's country because it's very in the the room of the country artists we like to listen to, and the artists we like to listen to. So yeah, we just hope that people will kind of, and I think that's the thing of having an album or an EP that's has a little bit of everything, and if you do it in a right way that's authentic to yourselves, is people will see that and hopefully enjoy that. And that's one thing we want, is first and foremost we love the EP, and it's going to be an absolute second wonderful, amazing moment if other people start to love it as well.
Yeah, and I'm sure they are gonna like it. So don't forget, obviously, everyone. So December the 10th is the date. You need to
Yes.
remember December the 10th. Their debut EP Slow Burn is coming out, available everywhere. So do check it
Yeah.
out, and
Please.
uh, and obviously give the feedback to
Yes.
Abbie, to the group, to the
Hmm.
band. And you can also obviously check out their Linktree link, which is here, which is
Hmm.
linktree.com/, the high rise. So do check it out as well. It gives you all the information of the band on there as well. On there, so do check it out as well. Lots of information on there. Everything's on there. The singles on there.
Hmm.
So in total, you've released is it 4 singles in total, or is it more?
Oh, I think it's five now.
Five
So
now.
no, hold on, sorry, six. Let me
Six.
see. I,
Wow.
I need to count them. Nashville, Take Off, American Idol, Lights On, Wildfire, Lost in a Small Town. Six singles in total.
Wow.
Yeah. It's actually
That's a
crazy
lot of
when
work.
you yeah, yeah. And it's good as well. I think that's like the exciting part, is so two of the singles are from the EP. And I think even from the singles, so Wildfire, the first single, was written a year before we even started thinking about an EP. But once this idea of let's double down and get to work on writing a longer project, we decided to hold off on Wildfire. And it's cool to listen back now to like where Wildfire and our mentality was at when we recorded that single, to all the musics that's still coming, and we still feel like our best is still to come, like with this EP, because it's been a slow burn, it's been a long journey, it's been yeah, it was a whole year in the making of this EP. So it's exciting times.
Yeah, and I'm sure I've mentioned this before as well. And but I think that was back in 23, like you said,
Hmm.
the last time you came on. So I mean, what is the music scene now in Scotland now? I mean, is it like do they listen to everything, rock, country music? What kind of a
um I think as Edinburgh is going to be one of those where it's always going to be a melting pot of
hmm,
many different genres.
right?
I think, indie and pop music is still very much at the forefront of what kind of leads the way in terms of genre. But it's nice to see there's kind of like a small roots venue drive coming back into Edinburgh that's really nice, as we're starting to see the door opening a lot more for live music again. And as someone who's I mean, I've been performing in and around Edinburgh since I was 14. So I've seen it go through its many transitions. But I'm starting to see a wave of, live music coming back. There's a big kind of folk singer songwriter element, and we're starting to see a big rise in kind of country and stuff again, and it's nice to see. But yeah, Edinburgh is always going to be one of those ones I think that won't ever be the centre place for one, because I think it'll mirror exactly what the city is, and it's just a beautiful melting pot of all different kind of genres and cultures, and um, Edinburgh represents that really, really well.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So it is very a blend of different music in Scotland,
Yeah.
and you've been you guys have been so busy, obviously writing, releasing the
Yeah.
music. Have you guys had the chance to have any performances in Scotland and that kind of stuff?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So, Edinburgh, there's an amazing kind of venue called Bannerman's Bar. It's been around since as long as I can remember. And, we had our first couple big gigs in that venue, and then they really helped us get a foot in and start to get that live experience as a group. And yeah, we've done everything. We've done Glasgow a few times. Most recently, we did King Tut's, which was an amazing experience supporting a phenomenal country female musician, Robin Red. So that was just, one of those milestone moments of, if you know King Tut's and how iconic it is, it's great to get a foot in there. But we've also played Dundee, and we've had a couple of other ones that have just fallen through. Like there was supposed to be a couple of festivals, Dundee, Inverness. But yeah, it's great to play in kind of our home city and country as often as we can, because it's when you grow up somewhere and you start to build that kind of listenership and audience there. It always feels like coming home, like especially when we've done a couple gigs down south and things like that now. So it's always nice whenever we get a show back in Scotland, and hopefully more. That's the plan for next year, is we will play anywhere and everywhere. There's no barriers. This was a year to just be in the studio and write until we can't write no
Yeah,
more, and next year will be a year of hopefully taking this EP on the road to wherever will have us, pretty much.
yeah. And any plans to be performing in the UK? Anywhere in the UK?
Yeah, we're still finalising the details, but we've actually just been confirmed for something in Scotland, February time, which is amazing. So anyone who's listening, once those details are kind of finalised, it'll be announced properly on our socials. And hopefully nothing's came through yet, but we've applied for like all the kind of normal festivals and things like that. So we really hope this EP will just help get our foot in the door of some of those places. And we get to play with a lot of our fellow artists and friends in the genre a lot more next year.
Yeah, I need to remember that Scotland is part of the UK as well. So,
Yeah.
so my friend keeps reminding me as well, who lives in Glasgow,
Hmm.
that obviously we are also part of the UK.
Yes, very much.
So yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it would be wonderful, and I'm sure you guys will be able to perform in other places down here as well, like
Yeah, yeah,
also other parts of the UK, like whether that's in London or Leicester, or I'm
yeah.
sure I'm sure
Yeah,
you
we'd
guys
love
will
to,
get.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's always quite fun. It's fun for us when we get to do a bit more traveling. Like
Mm.
we've had a couple shows down south, and we had one in Liverpool last year, and that was just such a fun experience because we went down for the whole weekend, and you get to stay on an Airbnb all together, and we made a full weekend of it, and it's good to obviously like expand your horizons, get to meet fans of the genre in other cities and other parts of the UK. And yeah, we just want more of that. I was even in Nashville back in September, and getting to, just being immersed in the lifestyle and of country music and music in general over there, and getting to meet other songwriters and musicians. It's such an amazing experience when you get to travel as a musician, because I think it just helps you grow, it helps you bond and make those connections.
Yeah, definitely, definitely does, doesn't it? And obviously, more and more people will see you perform. The ones
Exactly,
who
yeah.
are, you get more, your fan base will keep on extending about it really, and is spreading the word, word of mouth.
Hmm. Yeah.
It's probably the most powerful thing, isn't it? Because
Yes.
obviously,
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah, definitely. So do check it out. December the 10th, Slow But is coming out. EP available on all good places. Spotify, you can listen to it on Spotify with a subscription, and it's a cost
Yeah.
effective approach, but it'll be available everywhere. Amazon Music,
Hmm.
all the good
Yeah.
places, Google Music,
Yeah.
everywhere. So do check it out, and obviously do give them your feedback as well on the social
Hmm.
media. They're available on all the social media places.
Yeah.
On the and the music itself, is that written by all three of you together? Or?
Yeah, pretty much. So, like any of our songs,
Yeah.
they're firstly written by me, so lyrics, melody, the chords, and things like that. And then, yeah, as a band, we then kind of arrange them and compose them together. And that's been the very kind of cool thing about this as well, was we had some songs that had been like in our set list and had been in our kind of forward thinking of like, we want to work on this, and um we must have recorded about 8 demos, maybe 10 demos, that we sent to our producer, and we eventually picked, 4 out of that 10 to put onto the EP. And it's been amazing to see just the level of dedication and, just talent from my two bandmates, Nathan and Ross, and our producer. And just um yeah, it's been a lot of hard work and a lot of finalizing things, and scrutinizing every detail and overthinking, and then you eventually get to a point where it's like, we literally said, I was like, this is it, this is the best we can produce at this point in time, so that's exciting.
Yeah, absolutely. It's very exciting stuff happening there, and
Hmm.
it's very exciting times heading
Hmm.
towards before Christmas comes. So it's like a nice little
Yes.
gift for a nice little present for everyone of your
Exactly.
fans. Exactly. Yeah, near Christmas. Absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. There's something
Yeah.
they can cherish before Christmas arrives. So do check it out. December the 10th is available in all good places. And like I said, obviously do check out the link tree, the official URL, the High Rhymes. It's officially on there. All the details of their music is available on there. I have also checked it out myself. So do check it out on there. This is there. We'll put it on the description of the chat as well for you guys, like we do always. So do check it
Hmm.
out on there. So yeah, absolutely. So uh, that is very exciting. How long did it take you guys to write? How long did it take you to write? Was it
um
any long amount of length of time or something?
so we had a couple, like I said, we had a couple songs that were
Hmm.
already written and arranged to a certain degree. There's a song in there, like a good drink, that I actually wrote years and years ago, before I even met the boys, back when I was 20, 21. And that's just always been in my, songwriter's book, just waiting for the moment to kind of finally come. And then um so we've had that one for a while. The other one, No Souls, again, we had that for a while. So in terms of writing, uh, going back to the slow burn thing, there's a lot of songs in there that was in our kind of repertoire for quite a lengthy period. But the actual decision, of going, okay, what's our plans, was December last year to December now. So we'll say a year from actual being, let's put all of our eggs in complete focus into the basket of recording an EP. And that was the really cool thing about doing it that way, of being like, let's not, we'll take shows obviously and it's stuff that become, but let's not do singles. Let's concentrate on our full EP. So from December to December, sharing that journey from start to finish on socials has been a really kind of fulfilling one as well, giving people a little bit of an insight of the process of an independent artist doing it from scratch. So yeah, we'll say a year.
Yeah, absolutely. So a very exciting time there. And obviously at the bottom, just to quickly mention as well that which is exclusive here on the Right Podcast, that Shari Rose, who is a country music artist, her new music has just released, which is called "Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas." So that is out on all good places. Do check it out, and we will be chatting to her as well in December. So do look out for that, which is available on the podcast. The schedule is on there. You can see when we will be chatting with her. Yeah, absolutely. So very exciting times there, and I'm
Mhm.
obviously I know that the single the EP was sent to myself. I need to listen to it myself, to be honest. So I wish I would be doing it over the weekend. I'm sure I will be checking it
Amazing.
out. So yeah, it is a very exciting times for you guys, and obviously wishing you lots of success for this EP. I'm sure it's going to do really well.
Thank you so
Um,
much.
it is going to do well. So do you guys handle your own social media then? Is it yourselves who are doing everything?
Yeah, yeah. The boys won't mind me saying, but it is me, pretty
It's
much.
yourself. Oh my
Yeah,
word! Yeah.
just myself. So yeah, content creation, planning, managing it all is
Wow.
um myself, and then I'll get the boys every now and then to help film something, or they'll give me a little idea. But yeah, it's all managed in house um by us, and that was, one of the difficult things. But what's been really fun was when you're shutting yourself away in a studio, in our tiny little box room studio in Edinburgh for 12 months. It's like, oh God, what are we gonna post? We're not gonna be
Yeah.
doing any live shows or anything, but actually spinning that on its head and using that as quite a nice moment to share the journey of everything from finishing writing the last couple of demos to, you know, getting the final mix back, to all the kind of singles and prep and stuff for that has been really cool. And I think it's what's helped really people feel connected, even through our socials with this EP already, as we're seeing people really excited um, to finally for it to be released, which is so lovely. Because it's kind of a risk taking a whole 12 months to do something, but if you're gonna do something, do it right.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely. If you're gonna do it, and obviously you guys are doing it as a profession, and so obviously,
Exactly. Yeah.
so you need to make sure everything is exactly spot on, and
Mhm.
obviously, so you can keep on developing and increasing, and obviously increasing your presence in the music industry,
Definitely.
like you guys are doing and stuff. And
Hmm.
just to quick a heads up for anybody who wants to get into music, how hard is it to get into this music industry?
Um, it really depends what you want to achieve out of music.
Hmm.
So I don't think there's one answer really, or one way. I don't think the
Hmm.
idea of becoming a musician is quite linear in the way of people think it is. I think if you just want to be a musician, all you need
Yeah.
to do is learn the instrument and learn your craft, and then you're a musician. If you want to be a musician that solely does covers and plays live, and there's a very ample and like industry of wedding bands, function bands, cover artists, and it's full of people who just love the feeling of performing live, even if it's not necessarily their own original music. So I think it really depends. I think it's easy to start. I think what's harder, and why most people, is getting into the mainstream of music. So if you
Hmm.
want to be an original artist, a singer, songwriter, just a songwriter, a session musician, that can be quite difficult because it's competitive. If you want to be in the musical theatre space, that's really competitive. So I don't think anything in the music, um, getting to a high standard is easy. Nothing in life is. Nothing, if you want to do it
Mm,
and if you want to
that's
achieve the
true.
highest
That's true.
success of,
Oh,
do you know
yeah.
what I mean? If what regardless of whatever avenue of musicianship and music you want to go down, if you want to get the hat to the highest level, and if you want that to be your full-time job, and you want that to, pay the bills and get a real sense of achievement and success, that could be hard, just like any career. But if you just want to be a musician, whether that's you just pick up a guitar and you play round at your mate's house when you are having a barbecue, or if, you are having a party, you're a musician. And if that's, you have to just chase whatever kind of will bring you the most fulfillment. And then I think if you really love it, it won't feel hard. It is hard, but it won't feel hard because you're doing what you truly love to do. If that makes sense. It's very cliche, but that's what I think anyway.
Yeah, because I've heard with some artists who obviously like yourself who are performing full time and stuff on there. So do you think at the starting is it going to be difficult for somebody as a solo artist to put, do this full time as a gig, full time gig?
Well, we're not doing it full time in sense of
Hmm.
this isn't our sole income or anything like that.
Right, right,
But we are putting the hours in and contributing to it as if it was our full time, if that makes
right,
sense.
right, right.
So I think
Okay.
I think that's the hard part. I think, and I've heard many friends in the industry, peers, and it's the kind of consensus, and obviously everybody's different in their own experience, but I think it's that switch as a musician is when you rely on your craft and your skill to become your income. That's very hard. You need to have the contacts, you need to have the customer base, you have to treat it as if it's a business. But there's definitely things you can do to prep for that, like, you know, any kind of job, you can learn admin, marketing, book balancing and all that things that can help you when you do make that jump to become self-employed or as a full-time musician. Um, so I think if you're wanting to make that, it can be hard, but there's, yeah, definitely ways you could do it. I don't know specifically resources and stuff, but I think just learn your craft and know that's what you want to do, and just do everything you can to be feel like you're good at what you do, and then through that, customers and fans and stuff will come. But it really just depends. It's a difficult question because it really depends what type of musician you want to be. If you want to be a
Hmm.
paid session musician that
Yeah.
does musical theatre and does session work in the studios and stuff, that's a very different journey to being a singer-songwriter who wants to be paid for your own original music, which can be harder at times, for sure.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
don't know.
So, first of all, thank you very much, Abby. It's really nice to chat to you.
Thank you.
It has been a
Thank you.
long time, and like I said early on, obviously we'll make sure that it's not as long as it was this time, and bring
Absolutely.
you,
Please. Yeah.
yeah, and bring you back
Absolutely.
on much quicker on there. And also, we will be once we relaunch our website, which we will be launching very soon. We will obviously
Mm.
put up the information about Abbey and their band. When they release the music, we will be putting info on their website as well for everyone. So they can
Brilliant.
check it. You can check it out on there, like we used to do before. We would be doing that as well. So do check it out. December the 10th is the magical date for the anticipated debut
Exciting.
EP. Very excited. Everybody's
Yeah.
excited. I'm looking forward to this release. So do check it out. Slow burn available everywhere, and do let the guys know about how it is. I'm sure it will be some fantastic feedback coming along after the December the
Thank
10th
you.
on there. And thank you very much, Abby, for coming on. Thank you
Thank
very much
you.
for this.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you for having me on.